I'm Claire Taylor. I am a reporter for the Scottish Farmer newspaper, but my background, I come from a small farm on the west coast of Scotland where we raise Belted Galloway beef cattle. The Rural Youth Project is the most fantastic movement. It inspires so many young people working in rural areas, and for me, coming from a rural area but moving to an urban area, I've noticed the big changes and the sort of barriers that exist between both areas. And I think there is an issue with people moving to urban areas because of these barriers, and I think it's important to have a movement like the Rural Youth Project, which is re-energising what rural has to offer and to getting people together and equipping them with the sort of tools to make a mark in their communities, because I think too often young people don't really have that voice, and I think through the Rural Youth Project they're sort of finding that voice. Main hope would be that we get outreach to as many people as possible, and to maybe get to those sort of really rural areas, those isolated areas that we haven't reached so far, and that'll be about expanding our network as well and making sure we get our comms right and getting the messages out there, and just making sure that everybody, no matter their background, gets an equal opportunity to be part of what the Rural Youth Project offers. The first Rural Youth Ideas Festival, no idea what I was going to expect, because I was slightly more behind the scenes at that point working with the Rural Youth Project. It was just 2.5 days of inspiring people and workshops, and I came away feeling so uplifted. And I think sometimes, you know, when you're working in a rural area, you can feel sort of you're working in silos and you're isolated, and it can impact on mental health as well. So I think getting people together in a positive situation, it helped my mental health, and it made me feel really positive. And I went onwards and talked to everyone about it, and then that was reinvigorated at the next Rural Youth Ideas Festival. I was almost waiting for it to come back around to reignite that same fire that I had the first time around, because I think those meetings, you can't underestimate how important those are for people, because we don't get those options very often, and I've never ever heard of anything like that before. I spend my spare time outside work doing bouldering, so I jump up and down rocks and I'm covered in bruises all the time, and it's the best activity ever and totally takes away all my stress.